Ball game all the way around, but Gene was superb.
He really was. 29 completions and 45 attempts, over 300 yards passing. Ken, he's having a super year. He's just a junior, so Coach Bill Bowes will have him back next year, and he's getting much, much better as he goes along.
Now, the defensive front all season long, a fellow by the name of Paul Boulay has been causing a lot of headaches to the opposition.
He's one of those guys, he's cat quick on the line of scrimmage. He reads real quickly. He gets around his blocker. He gets to the quarterback, the ball carrier. Makes a lot of things happen, Ken. Roams well from sideline to sideline.
Now, on the other side of the ball, Matt DeGennaro is a very good candidate for Rookie of the Year. He's had an outstanding season for UConn.
What a terrific week last week against the URI Rams. He left with 11 minutes in the third quarter, Ken, and his team leading 42-0. He had over 200 yards passing. He also rushed the ball for good yardage. Just a terrific leader, and he's only a freshman. This is the phenomenal thing about DeGennaro. He's developed very quickly for head coach Tom Jackson.
Now, Jansen on the other side of the ball, 128 tackles. What a season.
And we watched him 2 weeks ago against the University of Delaware, and literally all over the field making big plays, big tackles in key situations. Mike Jansen's a headhunter out there. We'll keep a close eye on him today.
And then Scott Daniels, the outstanding defensive back, and he's having really an All-American type year.
Very aggressive, strong safety. If he has one weakness, Ken, it may be that he's too aggressive and goes up to the line of scrimmage too quickly on play action. But on a day like today, when passing could be de-emphasized because of the strong wind and cold, Scott Daniels may play a big role against that UNH running game.
All right, we expect a good one. How much the game will be affected by the weather and the throwing, we may not see as much as we had anticipated with two fine quarterbacks, but we will see when we see the kickoff in just a moment, right here on Nesson's Yankee Conference Football Game of the Week. Welcome back to Storrs, Connecticut. UNH and UConn going at it today. And friends, the wind is brutal out there, gusting to at least 25 miles an hour. The temperature couldn't be much over 20. Steve, this is going to be a miserable afternoon for the skilled players.
And with that wind, and what you say there is so important, Ken, with the wind, that wind chill factor puts it down probably in the minus territory.
Todd Urbanik and Tom Joy are the two deep men as we prepare to kick off the ball, and the ball does not, well, it
blown off the
blows off the tee. That gives you a good indication of where we're at. Let's take a look at the series history between the two as we get set to go with this one. Last year, UConn lost 42-19, and 5 straight games between these two have been decided by 4 points or less until last season. In the final 42-19, Bob Jean had 312 yards and 3 touchdowns. Norm Ford rushed for 145 yards and 3 TDs. Of course, Ford out with that hairline fracture, so he hasn't played in several weeks. And the kickoff this time carries to Todd Urbanik at the 15-yard line. He's over the 30 and out to the 35-yard line where UNH will take over 1st and 10. The initial possession of the ball game. A cold afternoon. Let's take a look at the UNH offense. Curtis Olds will be at the split end. Chris Braun, the flanker. Quarterback Bob Jean, Todd Urbanik, and Matt Banbury in the backfield. Up front, Johnson, Huth, Prendible, Maguire, Driscoll, and Spittel will be the tight end. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Glad you're with us. This is our final game on the Nesson coverage of Yankee Conference football. Had a great season. Here's the quick toss out to Chris Braun. He has open field at the 50-yard line, 45 down the sideline, and steps out of bounds at the 44. Well, opening play, they just got the ball into Braun's hands, and he had some running room down the field, Steve.
They send Urbanik in motion towards Olds. Here's the fake to the fullback. He turns right away. He's going to get the ball out there. Now watch Urbanik block for Braun. I'm sorry, I said Olds. That's Chris Braun, number 10. UConn did not adjust. They only had one defender there. Urbanik gets the block. Braun forced out of bounds, though.
19-yard pickup and a 1st down on the first play. Todd Urbanik. He is grabbed by the helmet and thrown to the ground by David Amendola, the son of the former Connecticut great Buddy Amendola. UConn defense up front. Bad Carignan is the defensive end. And then Amendola at the tackle. Nate Cotton, great middle guard. And defensive tackle is Logan. The linebackers, Ashley, Jansen, and McNally, 3 fine ones. Abbott Burrell, Scott Daniels, Dwayne Miller, and Kevin Johnson in that defensive secondary. 2nd down, 7 yards to go. Bob Jean calling signals. He's the 12th ranked leader in the nation in total offense. Handoff straight up the middle and some yardage down to the 32-yard line. This should be a first down as Scott Daniels makes the tackle on Matt Banbury, the fullback. Banbury hasn't carried that much, Steve. He's basically a blocker. That's his 31st carry of the season. He has 141 yards, but no touchdowns, and that's unusual for a fullback.
Well, the tailback is the main back that's featured in this UNH running attack. You don't hear much from fullbacks ordinarily, but today you may because of the cold weather conditions, Ken.
Norm Ford, the outstanding tailback, out with a hairline fracture. Urbanik has come in and done so well the last couple of weeks in his place. Brad Carrington makes the tackle on Urbanik there. Todd came into the game with 271 yards and 2 touchdowns. He hurt his knee on the last play of the last scrimmage before the season and was out until the URI ball game. And since that time, with Ford on the sideline injured, they thought it was a sprained ankle for a long time, but then discovered a hairline fracture. Urbanik has come in and really done the job. Second down, and not much running room up the middle as that Connecticut defense is there. Brad Carrington leads the way, the junior from Danbury, Connecticut.
That's a big play right there by Carrington, because if he doesn't make that tackle, Urbanik is going to be close to making a first down.
Third down and 7.
I noticed, Ken, Troy Ashley is not in the game. We realized he had some sort of shoulder injury last week, and it was questionable whether he would start. Peter Byrne starting in his place.
Byrne, the 6'2", 196-pound sophomore, number 59. Ashley had an outstanding game when we saw him here 2 weeks ago. Gene to throw on 3rd and 7. Pass is caught by Urbanik at the 25, and he's down to the 21. And he should have the first down. Mike Jansen and Chris McNally make the stop on the play.
Well, the deep zone coverage had everyone covered as far as the wide receivers. They slipped the running back out. There's the catch by Urbanik in front of McNally, the linebacker. Jansen comes over to help, but Urbanik, with that good nose for where that first down marker is, gets the necessary yardage. The Wildcats are in business here.
1st and 10 at the 21. Gene, fake draw. Over the middle, pass is caught by Braun at the 5, and he scores. A 21-yard touchdown toss from Bob Gene, who beautifully found his receiver over the middle.
Now, Chris Braun was a trailer. You're going to see him come across. It's almost like a double post, Ken. There's the play action to Urbanik. Bob Gene looks, the zone defense. They were going deep with the deep receiver. You can see Braun there with a short post pattern over the middle. And there's the reason Chris Braun is the leading scorer for the Wildcats.
Eric Facey to attempt the extra point. He has 53 straight, UNH record. And you can make it 54 straight extra points. So with 11:39 remaining in the first quarter, UNH on its initial possession marches down and scores.
Now, Coach Tom Jackson's strategy backfires, Ken. He elected to kick the ball when the Huskies won the coin toss, and it was a short kick immediately. The Wildcats ending up with good field position, running the ball out close to the 40, and they drive right down and score against the wind, and that's a big factor on a day like today.
That has to build your confidence too, Steve, when you're able to pass the ball so effectively against the wind like that. And it's not a great day for the receivers or the quarterback with the hands, and yet they move the ball right down.
Well, Bob Gene didn't seem to be bashful about passing that ball at all. He seems to be putting the ball on target. Receivers catching it, doing a good job of catching it. That was a 49-yard drive.
It was, he's 3 for 3 for 49 yards, so he hit all 3 passes, and they went for big plays.
Passing, I'm sorry.
And Facey will bounce the kick along the ground, taken at the 40-yard line, and Connecticut will have pretty good field position, and again, not choosing to fight that wind. Connecticut will take over in good field position. Scoring drive. And you look at the information there, and you see the march down the field. 21-yard pass to Braun. 7-0. This is Connecticut's first opportunity of the afternoon. Matt DeGennaro, number 14, the outstanding rookie Yankee Conference this season. Handoff goes to Terry Antrum, the fullback, and Scott Curtis and Kevin Doherty make the stop. The Connecticut skilled people: Glen Antrum, Terry Antrum, his brother, Matt DeGennaro, the quarterback, Jeff Gallaher is the tailback, and the flankers, David Dunn, will catch up in just a moment. DeGennaro wants to throw. There's Antrum, who has the ball, and Glen is brought down at the 44-yard line. And we have one of the Wildcats is down on the ground back at the line of scrimmage. It is good for a first down.
We'll get another look as DeGennaro drops straight back here. Now, Terry Antrum, the fullback, carried on the first play. Now it's a pass to brother Glen Antrum, the wide receiver, coming in on the slant end. And we've got a man down for the Wildcats. Unable to see who that was initially. That's 97 defensive tackle Bill O'Malley.
You could almost see on the replay, Steve, where he was hit from the side as he went across, and it might be his knee.
Let's take another angle here. Now, there you can see O'Malley fighting upfield, the offensive lineman with his arms extended, trying to fight him off. Now he pushes him underneath the pile there, and that's probably a knee on a day like today. It looks like they're examining the left knee.
And as you suggest, Steve, when the field is so frozen like this, anytime you hit it, the impact's going to be that much harder.
The type of footing that's there today, you kind of have to shorten your stride, especially if you're a wide receiver. Even rushing the passer, I think, can take a big stride upfield and put a lot of pressure on your legs as you're cutting or trying to make a move. It's much different today. That field is frozen solid out there. You know, we talked about the cold, and I'm sure everyone around the area realizes just how cold it is as they appeared. O'Malley might be getting up there. They're getting him up now. It is his right leg. I believe it's the right knee. He's going to go off. Hopefully, now he's putting a little weight on it. Hopefully he'll be able to come back to the Wildcats. But for the advantage or for the benefit of the people at home, it's 21 degrees today. That's not extremely cold, but with the wind chill, it's about minus 15.
O'Malley goes off, and let's take a look at the other men up front for UConn. Mike Coleman is out with an ankle problem, so Pat Anglim, the outstanding guard, moves over to tackle. John Lawler becomes the left guard. Paul Jarostchuk, David Frank, Stuart Milberg, and Scott Sweizer are the men up front for the Connecticut Huskies. First down and 10. Quick throw out to the left side. David Dunn has the ball at the 36-yard line, and he stays in bounds at that point, so he has a good 6 yards on the carry.
Neither team seems to be that concerned about the conditions. They're firing the ball, and the quarterbacks are doing a good job. The receivers catching it. There's Dunn. Just a simple little flat pattern. They're laying off of him on the zone. That's Tim Byrne, number 22, making the tackle for the Wildcats.
Picks up 7, second down and 3 as DeGennaro drops back into the pocket. Over the middle, the pass is caught by Dunn again, and he's down to the 22-yard line. Bill Farrell's back on the coverage here.
Coming in from the right side this time on a slant and straight drop back by DeGennaro. Dunn working against Farrell, number 6. Gets past him there. Farrell finally hauling him down with help from his teammate.
Handoff straight up the middle, and not much doing there as Terry Antrum gets a yard or two. It's interesting that Connecticut is not going with a huddle here, Steve. They're lining right up and not giving UNH a chance to set up on defense. Gain of a yard, so it's second down and 9. DeGennaro to throw. Wide open. Scott Sweizer is tight end, and he's down at the 16-yard line.
Now Farrell comes on the blitz from the left side. That left Sweizer open, but they were in the zone and they closed quickly. You can see Farrell in your screen there blitzing. Byrne closes quickly, along with Jordan, the safety, brings Sweizer down. They're going to be short of that first down by about 3 yards, Ken.
They call it 3rd and 2 as DeGennaro drops back, and the pass is short. He had to throw it in a hurry, and Bob Murray was right there. It almost was picked off. If been any higher, he probably would have gotten it.
Well, no one picked up number 53, Jarostchuk, coming from the right side. He came free. DeGennaro had to hurry that throw. Terry Antrum was his outlet in the flat, but he was covered.
Mark Carter, number 16, is on to try the field goal. He's 3 for 9 this season. Had an outstanding year last year, just really hasn't gelled this season. So the 5'11 junior will attempt this one, spotting at the 22-yard line, 32-yard kick. Antrum will hold. The ball is on the tee, and Carter's boot is no good, off to the side. Boy, you can hear the foot hit the ball, and it's like a thud. It's like kicking a piece of concrete.
The ball is just like the field on a day like today. Extremely hard.
UNH leading 7-0 with 9:08 remaining in the first period. Very cold stadium here in Storrs today, and you see Tom Jackson. He's fighting the cold. He's dressed for the weather.
And he's not pleased that they drove down the field and came away with 0.
And Bill Bowes on the opposite side. This is New Hampshire weather down here today. 1st and 10, Wildcats. Rob play up the middle. Todd Urbanik comes out to the 25-yard line.
There's Jansen working against the offensive guard, Maguire, number 75. Straight up the middle, the handoff to Urbanik. Now watch Jansen fight off that block of the big offensive lineman, Maguire, and make that tackle. This is what we were talking about in pregame with Mike Jansen.
2nd down and 5 from the 25. This time it's a slot to the near side. Braun is in the slot. And the handoff to Urbanik again, and he comes out to about the 26-yard line.
He wanted to cut to his left.
Actually, that's Mike Ryan who has come in to spell him.
Well, Ryan was looking to make a cutback to his left, and that's where that field conditions come in. You can see him slip. I was going to say earlier, Ken, I think it's important that players don't wear too long a cleat today on their shoe. In some cases, soccer shoes can be a better shoe on a hard field like this.
Good point, almost like playing on artificial surface. 3rd down and 3. Gene, flip to Ryan. He tries the right side and comes out to the 30-yard line.
The short cleats on a day like today are your best bet. And many of the players opt to wear the artificial surface shoes, especially the shoes with the larger rubber cleats.
Doesn't quite get the 1st down, so it brings up 4th and about a half yard and no place to gamble down here, so New Hampshire will punt the football away. Nate Baldessaro comes into the ball game, and the lone deep man is David Dunn. He has 21 returns for 71 yards. Baldessaro, you see, trying to keep his hands warm. It's interesting, a lot of players aren't wearing gloves out there, including Nate. This is a low liner, and it's taken on the fly by Scott Daniels, and it'll be a 1st down at the 48-yard line. Dwayne Miller is there covering on the play. A 17-yard punt, and again, we see the effects of the wind, Steve. It's brutal out there.
Well, the flag is out straight, and talk about Old Glory streaming. It's it's got a straight line in it today. You can see every stripe in that flag.
7-0. New Hampshire leads. Bill Bowes on the sideline. What a defense he has. 10th in the nation in total D. 271 yards allowed per ball game. 9th against the pass. Here on 1st down, the pass downfield. Antrum just off his fingertips. Incomplete. Well, DeGennaro using the wind and throwing the bomb to Glen Antrum.
He's
Ryan
working
Jones defending.
He's working against the freshman Jones, who had the great week last week against UMass. Here, Antrum has him beaten. You can see Jones diving there. Now, Antrum had it momentarily, but not able to hang on. That was very close.
UNH defense, we should set them up for you. Murray, Doherty, O'Malley, Boulay, and Jarostchuk up front. Tyschen and Curtis are the 2 linebackers, and Jones, Byrne, Farrell, and Jordan in that defensive secondary. Here's Jeff Gallaher, and he is wrapped up behind the line by Basil Jarostchuk, who is in there, and also Scott Curtis.
Now we've talked about Mike Jansen, the middle linebacker for UConn. Mike Curtis, number 92 for the Wildcats.
Or Scott Curtis.
Ken. Great speed. He runs a 4.640. 6'1", 225 pounds. 4.640 for an inside linebacker is great speed. He showed it there running underneath, making a great tackle.
And one reason why the pros are watching Mr. Curtis. DeGennaro wants to throw on 3rd down and 10. He is wrapped up and brought down. He's sacked by Paul Boulay, the man we talked about in our pregame. And there you see Boulay's speed, and he gets congratulations from his teammates.
Well, Jarostchuk couldn't stick with him. There's that quickness, like you say, Ken. Paul Boulay getting off his block so quickly. Look, there's the inside move against the blocker, and he hauls down DeGennaro. Big sack, creating the 4th down.
Jim Carrier will boot the ball away. 45 punts and a 38-yard average on the season, his longest of 89 yards. This one is carrying to the 20-yard line, and not much doing there, out to about the 23. And a 35-yard punt.
That's it, Terry. That's it, Terry.
This copyrighted program is brought to you under pay cable TV rights granted by UConn solely for the entertainment of our viewing audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, transmission, or other use of the accounts and descriptions of the game without the written consent of the New England Sports Network and UConn is prohibited. 1st and 10, UNH. Now the quick toss out to the flat. Taken and returned out to about the 29-yard line. Curtis Olds has a few yards on the play before Mike Jansen can wrap him up.
Ken, this is the same play they opened the game with, only to the opposite side. Urbanik again in motion, this time to Olds' side. But Scott Daniels, the safety, makes the adjustment. And Jansen with a good inside-out pursuit, and they tackle Olds for a relatively short gain. Well, not so short, actually, about a 6-yard pickup.
Olds with all sorts of career records. Career records in catching for a season, 55. Now you make it 56 catches with that one. No gain on this particular play as Nate Cotton is right there to rack up Todd Urbanik. Curtis Olds has had just a sensational season. He's number 2 in the nation in receiving, averaging 6.9 receptions per ball game. He also has career receptions of 119 now at UNH, and career yards 1,921. Just been a banner season for him. 3rd down and 3. Let's see if Olds figures in this play. A shift in the backfield. Bob Jean shouts the signals. There's the draw play, fake. Jean over the middle. The pass is incomplete. Double coverage there, and Braun says, hey, somebody hit me too early. Scott Daniels was back defending on the play, and Dan Logan was rushing. That brings up 4th down and 3, and now we've had a series of punts since the Wildcats drove the ball down the field on the first possession of the ball game and scored.
Well, UConn is going to end up with probably good field position again as we watch Baldessaro drop back to punt.
And his first punt was 18 yards. David Dunn is standing on the 41, but this is another shorty because of the wind. Boy. And this one will roll dead and touch down at the 46-yard line.
You can see the wind holding that ball up. He had a nice spiral on the ball. He's trying to keep it low because it's into the wind. And off to the left, trying to keep David Dunn from catching it in the air. But they didn't get much of a roll in. UConn with a great field position again.
25-yard punt. Ball at the 45. Tom Jackson, his 5th year here at UConn. Carried a 26-26 record, but should the Huskies win today, it'd be their 15th in 2 seasons. Never been done before here at Connecticut. Hand off to Gallaher, and he is ridden to the ground, and a penalty marker flies at where the ball carrier is, and perhaps we have a holding call coming up. The officials today, the referee Robert Lynch, James Dinkle is the umpire, William Wilson the linesman, Philip L'Hospitalier is the line judge, Jerome Seiberts, James Sheehan, and Jack DePeriso is the clock operator.
Ken Sherm Beatty made a great play there. He beat the blocker, David Franks, and made the tackle in the backfield, brought Gallaher down for about a 1-yard loss. Well, actually, he got back to the line of scrimmage. He made contact about a yard behind the line of scrimmage. Gallaher able to get forward, but Franks actually having to hold Beatty, trying to keep him off of him. He was called for it, but the penalties refused.
Penalty is declined, so it makes it now 2nd down and 10, or 1st and 10, I should say. And slipping down is Terry Antrum after he makes the catch. There's no running room. 1st and 15 was where they started. Now it'll be about 2nd down and 14.
Ken, I'm a little confused there.
They refused the penalty. Now, why is it?
It appeared it was a holding call.
Offsetting penalties.
Offsetting, I'm sorry.
I missed that. Matt DeGennaro brings him up. 2nd and 9 as DeGennaro rolls to the right side and throws back across. David Dunn, a one-handed grab at the 47-yard line. Gary Jordan defending. And it's a couple of yards shy of the 1st.
Well, they're rolling out to the right. He wants a receiver in the flat. You can see Jarostchuk, number 53, putting the pressure on. Now he spots Dunn across field. Look at that catch by Dunn, one-handed, before Jordan, the safety, closes on him.
Well, David Dunn has had an unbelievable season here at Connecticut. 3 catches and 27 yards today. Came in with 59 catches and 729 yards. And Dunn again, this time he's wrestled out of bounds at the 46-yard line. He'll be short of the 1st down. And Ryan Jones, who had the 2 pass interceptions last week against Mass, makes the play there.
Jones closes quickly here. They're trying to take advantage of Jones laying off Dunn a little. The ball is actually thrown behind him a little, and you can see the quick reaction there. Dunn driven out of bounds, short of the 1st down. UConn forced the punt.
And Jim Carrier, he had 1 punt for 35 yards earlier in the game with the wind at his back. Fake punt, and they probably have the 1st down. Well, that was a good call there, Steve, as the fake punt. And it was a snap to the up man.
Nice
Terry
call.
Antrum.
Nice call by head coach Tom Jackson.
Looked like it may have been Mark Landolfi. So a big play as Connecticut now has the 1st down, 43-yard line. Good time for a call like that. There's the handoff to Gallaher, draw play, and he is down to the 36-yard line. Scott Curtis makes the stop. Now, George Booth, who is normally the starting tailback, was hobbling some coming into this ballgame. Looks like Gallaher's going to be the workhorse.
Well, Jeff Gallaher had a great day 2 weeks ago against the University of Delaware here at Storrs, and they like to use him, Ken. He has that breakaway speed. Of course, a big touchdown. He broke one against Delaware for about 40 yards.
Handoff up the middle, Terry Antrum. And he's to about the 35-yard line. Last week against Rhode Island, it was a disaster for Rhodey, but Connecticut had all sorts of fun, leading 35-0 at halftime, and then winning 52-7 for its 3rd straight win for the Connecticut Huskies. And the interesting thing about the ballgame, Steve, is that out of the tailbacks, though DeGennaro had an outstanding day passing with 234 yards in just over a half a play, the 3 tailbacks had 129 yards between them.
And that was part of over 500 yards of total offense.
3rd down and 2. Over the middle, pass is caught by Scott Sweizer down to the 20-yard line. Another Connecticut 1st down. Ryan Jones hauls him down at the 21.
Scott Sweizer lining up on the right side at his tight end position with a straight drop back again. DeGennaro just lofting the ball over the linebacker. You can see it there before Jones, the cornerback, makes the tackle. 1st down for UConn. Here it is, ground level. You can see the good blocking for DeGennaro. Plenty of time. Nice touch on the ball just over the linebacker. Scott Sweizer, number 12.
His brother Ken, an outstanding quarterback here at the University of Connecticut, so the Schweitzers continuing to have a lot to say about the way things go here at UConn. DeGennaro was put flat on his back on a sack, and there was a mix-up in the backfield. 2nd time he's been sacked Scott Curtis gets the job done that time.
They come with a blitz. Scott Farrell, number 6, was the first one there. DeGennaro trying to avoid him, but number 92, the middle linebacker, Scott Curtis, blitzing in past Jeff Gallaher.
That's the end of the first quarter, and we'll return with the second period from the windy Storrs with the score 7-0 UNH. 7-0 after one period of play. DeGennaro 8 for 10 and passing, 59 yards. Bob Jean 4 for 5, 56 yards and 1 touchdown. That brings you up to date on the quarterback situation. And the quarterbacks have continued to throw with or against the wind, Steve.
And the receivers are making good catches. Ken, I'm surprised neither team seems to be, or neither quarterback seems to be shy about throwing that football.
Second down and 15. DeGennaro being chased. Rolls right, pass is caught out there and down at the 17-yard line.
What a move by number 33, Terry Antrum, the fullback, after he catches the ball. Now you're going to see Boulay on the left side of your screen. Nobody blocks him. He's going to force DeGennaro out of the pocket. Antrum is his outlet man in the right flat. He hits him. Now watch the move he puts on the linebacker Jarostchuk. Right there, and finally Heap, the other linebacker, making the tackle.
Boy, that move means even more when you consider the field being in such rock-hard shape. Boulay couldn't handle it when he went down. But Antrum was somehow able to make a cut there, and it's 3rd down and 6. Big gainer, still leaves them 6 shy. And DeGennaro drops for it. Pass is wide open, and the pass is complete to Michael Adams at the 7-yard line.
Now they're sneaking Farrell up. The Wildcats bring number 6, Bill Farrell, on the blitz. Now watch Antrum pick it up. He's going to block for DeGennaro. Well, that was Gallaher, excuse me. But it leaves Adams wide open out there, and the safety, Jordan, has to come over and make the tackle. But it's a first down, goal to goal for the UConn Huskies.
Michael Adams, the son of Jimmy Adams, the basketball coach at Rhode Island College. Hand off, Gallaher bounces off of a man and gets the ball just nose deep inside the 5-yard line. And on the tackle is T.J. Reap. Also there, Sherm Beatty. Yeah, Reap.
Did Reap do a good job there? Came up, met the blocker, Terry Antrum, number 33, stuffed him in the hole, and Gallaher had no place to go. He tackles him for very little gain.
2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. There you see it from field level as they line up. And DeGennaro rolls the option play, keeps it, and scores with it. Touchdown. Great play by Matt DeGennaro as he landed on the goal line with the ball. 5-yard run for the touchdown.
What a quarterback for a freshman. The option play, it takes a long time to develop. Good blocking by Milberg, the tackle number 7. Now watch Antrum's block. He forces Farrell outside. Farrell actually had the pitch man. I didn't think DeGennaro would be able to get into the end zone, but he keeps fighting. He was contact made at the 3, but he struggles in. And this game may be tied here shortly if this extra point attempt is successful.
Rob Moons, number 24, will try to tie it up. 14 minutes left in the first half. 7-6. Ball is on the tee kick against the wind. This one goes through the uprights. took a little time, but it went through.
That wind is really holding the ball in.
And the score is 7-7. And I think that's the only way you could stay warm today, Steve. Be a real Husky.
I was just going to say, I'd like to borrow that costume today. I think it would feel real good a day like that.
Well, Matt DeGennaro came in with some impressive numbers. 168 of 279 yards, 279 passes, I should say, and 1,965 yards. He'll go over 2,000 yards passing this season, Steve. And
incredible, 2 excellent quarterbacks today, Bob Jean, Matt DeGennaro. Of course, that touchdown, so impressive for a freshman.
Well, he has gone over 2,000. 10 of 12, 79 yards. So Matt DeGennaro, almost a lock on the Rookie of the Year in the Yankee Conference.
It's interesting, we look at the conditions today in the pregame, and we see the field's frozen. Most of the receivers are having to wear gloves. A lot of them not used to wearing gloves. The quarterbacks have got to be affected a little bit. Bare hands got to be frozen up, but They seem to be putting it aside.
Absolutely.
Out of their mind.
And a good return on this kick. Matt Banbury. And 1st and 10, UNH at its own 40, where are they going to spot it? 47-yard line. Here's the drive, 12 plays, 54 yards, taking 5 off the clock, and the 5-yard run by DeGennaro. And we have a tie ball game, 7-7. New Hampshire scored on its first possession of the afternoon, marching down, then the 21-yard touchdown toss to Chris Braun. And now Bob Jean tries to deliver the goods here with the game tied now, 7-7. Urbanik goes in motion, Jean to drop. Plenty of time over the middle, the pass is incomplete. Pass was intended for Curtis Olds. A little low for him. Scott Daniels was defending on the play.
That was the short slant in pattern, and Scott Daniels read that play immediately, broke on the ball, and actually Curtis Olds ran into him. Otherwise, Scott Daniels had a chance of picking that ball off.
You talked with a couple of players before the ball game about playing in conditions like this, and we'll work those in as time goes on here. We're 13 minutes and 48 seconds left in the first half. And Urbanik gets the pitch and finds the opening at the 45-yard line, and he's down at the 40 where he has the first down. Mike Jansen finally puts the stop on him, but he found a seam over there.
Great blocking on the left side. Huth, the guard, Tom Johnson, the tackle. They really clear a path, and Banbury gets a great block on the corner for Farrell before Jansen, the inside linebacker, catches Urbanik from behind. That's a great play right there. The offensive line, great blocking.
First down from the 41-yard line now. A lone setback as now Mike Ryan goes in motion, and he'll gun the ball for Ryan, and it's incomplete. Well, Ryan had worked his way out of the backfield, Steve. He was wide open out there.
And actually, Bob Jean waited for him to clear the inside linebacker, McNally. McNally had taken a deep drop in the hook zone. And there you can see how cold it is today when a player resorts to wearing a mask under his helmet. The lone, no, that's not the lone ranger. That's a lone football player. Cold football player.
Cold one. Well, you had your share of cold experiences when you played with the Patriots at Foxborough, some of those December ball games. Had to wear the long johns. Jean hands off to Ryan. He finds the opening again. Same thing that Urbanik pulled off a moment ago. And he picks up a good chunk of yardage short of the first down.
Well, again, on the left side of the line, behind the tackle Huth, or excuse me, the guard Huth and tackle Johnson, opening up a big hole for Tim Ryan.
3rd down and 2. Ball at the 33-yard line. Braun goes left and Olds to the right side. I formation in the backfield as Bob Jean sets them up. Jean has had 4 300-yard games this year, or I should say in his career. Hand off up the middle. We'll see if he has the yardage for the first down. Looks a little short. Matt Banbury, the fullback. Banbury, 5'10", 220-pound sophomore. And he is short of the first down, so it's 3rd and 1. Well, the temperature was supposed to be around 20 degrees for a high today. 4th down and 1. And the Wildcats will go for it. Banbury and Ryan are the setbacks. And the pitch to Ryan. Needs a block, gets it, puts his head down, and he has the first down as he moves through the 28-yard line.
Well, Mike Ryan has to thank his fullback here, Banbury, leading. There's the toss. Now watch as Mike Ryan puts his head down. Look at Banbury getting the push on the outside man.
And Peter Byrne finally makes the stop, but not before Banbury has the first down. 11:26 remaining in the first half. 7-7 score. Wildcats are driving. Ryan goes in motion here. Slot to the left side, so they flood the zone. A penalty marker is down. The ball into the hands of Curtis Olds. He loses the football, and the Huskies come up with it. The Huskies have recovered the ball. And David Amendola, number 74, is celebrating. Let's see what the flag is. It looks like it'll go against the Wildcats, so it would be declined.
there's that quick pass again, Ken, and there was motion before. I think that while the ball was in the air, there was a premature block or holding against New Hampshire.
And holding is the call, and it's being declined, so Connecticut holds. Well, so to speak.
It was actually the corner out there, Farrell, I believe, who was covering Oles, and the motion man had tried to block him, but he actually attempted that block before the ball arrived to Oles.
David Amendola with the recovery, 6'1", 274-pound senior. And a penalty marker goes up here, and before the snap of the play, dead ball, illegal procedure against the Huskies. Connecticut coming in with a 6-4 record, 4-2. There's Tom Jackson, played on that Penn State team that went to the Orange Bowl. He was the tri-captain of that team back in '69. His teams are 1-3 against the Wildcats in his career here. First down and 15. Quick throw to the near side. Glen Antrum out in the flat. Puts the move on. Will not be fooled. Tim Byrne stayed right with him and made the good defensive stop. Pick of about 6 on the play.
There's a short pass, and of course the motion man gets the block, but that leaves Byrne one-on-one with Antrum. Now watch Byrne break down, keeps himself square, makes a nice tackle on a fast man, Glen Antrum.
10 minutes and 37 seconds remaining in the first half here. I formation. DeGennaro fakes the handoff, play action to the right side. The pass is caught by Antrum. He loses the football, but the pass was not in his hands long enough, and it's ruled incomplete.
He was bobbling that ball, Ken, as he tried to turn upfield. And as he was trying to get the handle on it, Bill Farrell, number 6, had broken on the play and made a nice hit, jarring the ball loose.
Third down and 11. Ball at the 22-yard line. Looking right into the face of that wind, so it's tough to throw long downfield. They've been going with the short passes. There's the fake draw again, and the quick pass to Scott Sweizer, the tight end, and he pulls his way to the 33-yard line where a penalty marker comes out, and the official is pointing at one of the Huskies, and Antrum is saying, "Who, me?" John Dubots was defending for the Cats on the play, and holding is the call. Well, that will nullify the gainer. That was close to a first down. He may have had it as we look at it on the sideline, but that will be a walk-off.
Well executed, with the exception, of course, of the holding by Glen Antrum, number 4.
Well, not a huge crowd, as you might imagine today. And as a matter of fact, I think that if you did show up for the game today, you would qualify as a true Husky.
You'd want a few Husky
people around
today,
you.
I'll tell you that.
Put a couple of Husky guys around you. Third down conversions. Connecticut has 2 of 5, and UNH 1 of 3 so far. This is a third down and 11. You see Paul Jarostchuk, redshirt center, over the ball, and now the DeGennaro wants to throw. He's looking for the bomb, and it's almost intercepted, intended for Glen Antrum, and the pass is almost picked off by Ryan Jones, the freshman who had the great game last week against Mass.
Well, I think the wind was a factor here. As you watch DeGennaro, the fake there, he has the big tackle, Franks pulling, protecting him. Now he pulls the ball down here. He spotted Antrum downfield, but he underthrows him. But the wind, I think, was a factor there as you watch Ryan almost pick it off.
Jim Carrier to boot the ball away, and this against the wind, which has been causing problems. The low liner, and Tom Joy just watches it bounce, and it will roll dead at the 41-yard line. And good field position once again. Boy, it looks like the wind will be the story of this game, Steve. There's just not much doing in the kicking game against that direction.
Ken, we'll get another look at the touchdown by DeGennaro. There you can see Jarostchuk trying to pull him down. Watch his knee. Let's see if he did get into the end zone. The left knee has touched there on about the 1-yard line, but he stands and puts the ball over. Now, that's interesting.
Should have been at the 1. A replay picked that up. Bob Jean to throw, lofts the ball way over everybody's head and almost picked off by Dwayne Miller. It was intended for Braun. I think the wind floated that ball high and away.
It looked like Dwayne Miller was the intended receiver. He was 5 yards beyond the offensive receiver, and I thought he had that ball picked off. Ken, it appeared he misjudged it. The ball just kept sailing on him.
Well, you talked to Curtis Olds before the ball game about trying to catch something in this kind of weather, and you do have to have extra concentration, I'm sure, because you don't have the feel of the ball coming into your hands, too. I'm sure it's the same thing for the quarterback.
Olds was more concerned about the hard field today than his hands, really. He's been wearing gloves because of a broken finger the past several weeks anyway.
Second down and 10. Here's the pitch to Mike Ryan, and Ryan gets away from one man and tries to cut to the outside. He loses the football, but gets it right back. I wonder if there's something wrong with Urbanik, because Todd has not been in on the last 2 series here.
Well, normally Ryan spells him for short periods of time. Now he's in there for a while. Good blocking here and good running by Ryan. He runs away from McNally there, the linebacker. Now right there, they hit by Jordan, the safety, and it made Ryan cough it up, but he fell on it immediately.
Boston University is leading Delaware 7-0 in the second period. Third down and 6 here. Score is 7-7. Bob Jean, plenty of time, guns the ball for Chris Braun. Nice catch at the 36-yard line. Braun had to take it on a knee, but he has the first down.
The slant-in pattern, he lines up on the right side. No play action here, straight drop back. Braun with an inside move against the safety, Scott Daniels. You can see the linebacker trying to bat the ball down, but Jean places it perfectly, and Braun with a nice catch.
3 catches and 56 yards now for Braun. First and 10. You can see the shadow of the flags as Jean now drops back into the shotgun. See the flag waving there, the shadow of it. You can really see the wind kicking off. Mike Ryan is wrapped up as he approaches the 35-yard line. And Mike Jansen is there to put the squeeze on him, the captain from New Fairfield, Connecticut. Came in with 128 tackles. Stevie had 384 in his career so far coming into this game.
Not a bad career.
Came as a quarterback, and he had that 10-day trial on defense and never went back to offense. One of those guys that just felt that the defensive thing fit like a glove, and he wanted to stay there. He was moved from safety in 84 to linebacker in 85. Over the middle, Curtis Olds has the football, 20-yard line, 15. It's a race to the end zone. He will score. 35-yard touchdown run for Curtis Olds.
Well, he gets away from the defender, Kevin Johnson, immediately. You'll see Johnson trailing him here. It's the straight drop back. He's slanting over the middle. You can see Johnson trailing by a good 5 yards. Now, Curtis Olds is very fast, as we've mentioned before. You'll see the effort there by the UConn defenders to bring him down, but he avoids that, and the end with that good speed for the touchdown. The Wildcats go ahead.
Curtis Olds with a burst of speed and makes it a 13-7 ball game. Eric Facey will try to tag on the extra point. And this one is through the uprights, and it's a 14-7 ball game. A 35-yard scoring play with Olds doing most of it after receiving the Bob Jean pass. And it's a 14-7 ball game. Before the ball game, Steve, you had a chance to talk with Curtis Olds about the conditions. Now let's check in to see what Curtis had to say about playing on a day like this.
Just got to make sure my patterns are ran precisely instead of cutting them down, because the field is kind of hard. It's a tendency to slip on it. Got to get a good stretch so can eliminate some of the pull hamstring and pull muscles.
Well, obviously, he has warmed up quite a bit here in the first half. Finding the conditions, no problem.
And he's a real veteran, of course. A lot of game experience Curtis Olds has, and with those skilled tools of his, with the speed and good hands, he puts them to good use, and he knows how to play in a game like this. I think he made a good point, Ken, in saying he has to cut his patterns down a little bit in his stride. It's important today with the footing like it is with a very hard field.
Olds, the second leading receiver in the country. There's Tom Jackson looking on, his team now trailing 7. Olds, by the way, has had 7 career 100-yard games, and last week had 157. yards against Mass. And the scoring drive of 5 plays, 54 yards, 2:09 off the clock, and the 35-yard touchdown pass. Gene now 7 for 11, 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. And that's it, a 14-7 score. Eric Facey boots the ball with the wind. Look at the wind carry that one. And into the end zone where it will be downed and come out to the 20-yard line. Boy, that was like a rifle shot back there as Scott Viverts just couldn't handle it.
It appeared Viverts had the ball judged, Ken, and again, that wind is a factor.
It's like a tunnel out there.
Pushing that ball, and you could see he had to go up over his head to try to catch the football. Rather than catching it, cradling it against his chest, it was over his head, and he couldn't hang on to it into the end zone in the touchback.
Matt DeGennaro, the Rookie of the Week for his play against Rhode Island last week. 4th time he's had that honor this season. Hands off to Jeff Gallaher. He tries the outside and ridden down from behind at the 23-yard line.
That's T.J. Reap, number 66, the inside linebacker. And it looked like Gallaher had some room down the sideline, and T.J. Reap really turning on the speed to bring down another very fast guy, Gallaher. Nice play by Reap, the linebacker.
5'11", 210-pound freshman T.J. Reap coming in there to spell Will Tyschen. Matt DeGennaro looks at 2nd down and 7 in the pocket. Pass over the middle. It is short for Michael Adams. Adams had made the cut and was wide open on the play, and DeGennaro had to rush it some.
Well, DeGennaro hangs in there as you watch the pocket start to collapse. You're getting close to him, but he wasn't on his heels, Ken. He just threw the ball too low. As you can see, number 23, Mike Adams, is wide open over the middle.
3rd down and 7 now, deep. Connecticut has 2 of 6 3rd down conversions. DeGennaro to throw, and he looks for Dunn, and the ball is tipped away nicely by Bill Farrell. Farrell timed it nicely. Bill coming in with 3 interceptions to his credit this season and 56 tackles, and he's been a great one in that secondary after moving over from offense.
Dunn was a secondary receiver. He wanted Adams on the left side, but the double coverage was there. He tried to hit Dunn crossing, but Bill Farrell, number 6, with the good coverage.
And Jim Carrier to boot the ball away. He has 2 for 35-yard average so far. Let's see what he does with this one. And it's a low liner again against that wind and gets the UNH bounce and will be down at the 41-yard line in Connecticut territory. So with 6 minutes and 36 seconds left in the half and leading 14-7, UNH hopes to take advantage of the win one more time.
And Bill Bowes would really like to see him get another score here again at this point. Going into half, if he gets another score here, a field goal or a touchdown, it could be a commanding situation for him by the 3rd quarter.
Bowes in his 16th year at UNH. Tremendous career up there. 1st and 10. Connecticut with 11 carries and 13 yards. UNH 14 of 53 on rushing. Curtis Olds gets the pass this time and carries down to the 18-yard line. Chris McNally and Dwayne Miller make the stop.
This is a well-thrown ball right in front of Ike Jansen, the inside linebacker. Curtis Olds again on the quick slant in. He avoids Jansen, tries to put the moves on Dwayne Miller, brought down, but they're deep into UConn territory. Nice catch, nice run, number 7, Curtis Olds.
And he has 74 yards on the afternoon on 4 catches. Bob Jean really using the wind to his advantage here and throwing again, this time getting the ball back into the hands of Chris Braun, and Braun is bumped out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Abbott Burrell, the redshirt junior, makes the stop over there.
Abbott Burrell's laying off. They're in the zone. He's got a lot of room out there. A little quick play action. He raises up, fires the ball out to Chris Braun, number 10. Now look how much room he has to work with, Ken. Now he's going to cut to the sideline. Farrell will force him out, but that's a nice pickup. They've got another 1st down.
And 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Jean with the pitch to Mike Ryan. He has the goal line and scores. Mike Ryan, the backup tailback, bursts home from 8 yards out. Took him 1 play to get there after 1st and goal.
The toss, the lineman pulling, Now UConn over pursues the backside there. Nate Cotton can't close. Ryan had read it and cut up inside. There was a big hole. Let's watch it from behind. There's the toss. Look at the hole he has. Now Nate Cotton can't close quickly enough. He was cut off. He was late getting there, and the other people over pursued. Mike Ryan recognized that immediately and cut up inside that big hole.
Eric Facey to attempt the extra point, and the kick is good. And with 5:52 remaining in the first half, it's now a 21-6 ball game. 21-7, I should say. And the 8-yard run by Ryan. And Steve, it's interesting because the second quarter has traditionally been a big one for the Cats this year, outscoring the opposition 51-23. Now they've got two on the board here in this period. Nesson's coverage of Hockey East 87 continues tonight. Maine Black Bears are in Boston to meet the Northeastern Huskies live at 7 o'clock. We invite you to join Sean McDonough and Bob Norton, who is here in the press box today watching this ball game. You'll have all the action tonight at 7 right here on Nesson. Had a chance to talk with Bob before the ball game. There have been some great Hockey East games so far, and this one tonight, Maine, who is highly rated in the country, and certainly looks to be one of the favorites this year in the Hockey East. So we'll get a chance to see what they do tonight, 7 o'clock, right here on Nesson. The scoring drive, 3 plays of 42 yards, took just 46 seconds in the 8-yard run by Ryan, and it's a 21-7 ball game. And the short kick this time is taken by the Huskies and returned out to the 37-yard line, make it the 38. So Connecticut will have 5 minutes and 43 seconds to try to work against the wind here and see what they can come up with and narrow this gap heading to halftime.
That was a headsy call by a headsy decision by number 28, Landolfi, to pull that line drive kickoff down.
Nanook of the North here. I mean, you've got to dress like this to be warm out there.
I may want to borrow that at halftime.
Absolutely. You're going to be down in the field and freezing your wazoo, as we would say. 206 total yards for UNH so far and 105 for Connecticut, and not much doing on that play at all as Gallaher is wrapped up behind the line.
Scott Curtis, number 92, with that speed again, he shot a gap there to pull Gallaher down quickly at the line of scrimmage.
George Booth, who was the starting tailback, and that's certainly quite a combination, Gallaher and Booth. Booth, an ankle problem coming into the game, so Gallaher has been the starter and has gone the entire distance so far. 5:12 remaining in the first half. Connecticut down by 14 points. DeGennaro wants to throw over the middle, pass caught by Michael Adams. He's down at the 45-yard line. It's interesting. We expected a lot of fireworks in this ball game today, Steve, with the 2 quarterbacks that are out on the field, and they haven't disappointed us so far.
And I'm surprised that the game is as wide open as it is, Ken. Given the conditions today, we anticipated more of a running attack by these teams, but they're not holding back. They're throwing that football, and young Matt DeGennaro has no problems with that at all.
Been 30 pass attempts between the 2 quarterbacks here this afternoon, so you're right. They have not held back at all. Antrum splits wide to the near side. DeGennaro wants to throw over the middle. A pass is caught again. Same pattern that Adams ran a moment ago. And just maybe they may have gotten the first down. Will Tyschen and Phil Farrell are defending. And I would say, yes, he does have the first down.
I saw Pat Anglim there trying to protect his man as the Wildcats were flying in, trying to bring him down. Now, Anglim, Ken, has played tackle last year, guard this year, and because of injury, he's a very versatile lineman. He's moved out to offensive tackle, as we spoke about early in the game.
He had a stress fracture of the ankle and doesn't really practice, but is able to be there on game day. Gallaher breaks into the open for a moment and gets inside the 40-yard line before Garry Jordan can bring him down.
There's that great quickness by Gallaher. A little bit of a delay here. You can see the sprint draw. Good blocking up front. Look how he explodes through the hole. Now watch Jordan come in and make a good tackle.
Absolutely. 39-yard line. DeGennaro brings his team up. He's 14 of 20, 102 yards so far in the ball game through the air. Handoff out of the backfield. Terry Antrum, and down to the 36-yard line. So Connecticut just going nose deep right into the heart of that UNH defense. And this is what you expected to see, Steve, when we were talking about it earlier. You expected to see them go directly at UNH.
The Wildcats, very difficult to run against inside the tackles. Seniors up front there for them. And just good people, a quick reading type of defense, a leading defense in the Yankee Conference.
Second down, DeGennaro throws the bomb for Sweizer. He's got the ball, and he scores a touchdown. "36-yard touchdown bomb from DeGennaro to Scott Sweizer. That was right on the money.
What protection by that UConn offensive line for their quarterback, DeGennaro. He has all the time in the world, and you're going to see Sweizer from the end zone. Here's he watch the ball coming down. He had a lot of time to work on the linebacker, number 92, Curtis, one-on-one. That was a man defense, and you can see Schweitzer's a happy young man. But give the offensive line credit, Ken. They gave their quarterback, DeGennaro, a lot of time to find Scott Sweizer downfield.
Connecticut back in the ball game. Boone tries to tack on the extra point, and Rob hits it. And suddenly it's a 21-14 ball game, and the scoring parade goes on.
Well, it looked like Scott Sweizer could have read a book back there. He had so much time to throw the ball. You'll take another look here. Now, right there, good block on Jarostchuk, the linebacker. DeGennaro, though, dropping back after his first receiver was covered. This is actually a play where he finds the secondary receiver, Sweizer, working against the linebacker, Curtis. And that's a good job by Sweizer. Curtis with 4.6 speed. He beats him, though. Nice throw, nice catch.
And before the ball game, we had an opportunity to talk to DeGennaro about the playing conditions today, and of course he threw that touchdown toss.
I don't think so. I think the conditions are pretty good for passing today. When we're with the wind. Against the wind, it's going to be pretty tough. We're going to have to rely on our running game a little bit more. But I don't think the field is going to be a factor.
And Ken, that throw was into the wind. Now, he was talking about being concerned about going into the wind. And UConn, every one of their scores so far into the wind.
And the kick, which dribbles off the ground, again trying to avoid kicking into the teeth of the wind. And UNH will take over from the 45-yard line. 6 plays, 60 yards, 2:49 elapsed, and the 36-yard pass to Scott Sweizer. Sweizer has 4 catches for 65 yards. DeGennaro, 15 of 21, 138 yards through the air. And there's big Scott Sweizer. Boy, what an afternoon he's had. 1st and 10 now. New Hampshire has 2 minutes and 47 seconds in which to work. And the pass quickly out to Curtis Olds, and it's ruled incomplete. Olds had it momentarily and was wearing Kevin Johnson on his back. 21-14, plenty of fireworks in this one.
You normally see Curtis Olds catch that type of pass. That time, Ken, I don't believe it was so much Kevin Johnson with the contact, but Curtis Olds looking to get upfield quicker. I think he momentarily took his eyes off the football.
Bob Jean owns the career record for completions at UNH, and he completes another one. This one to Mike Ryan, who tries to put the on at the 49-yard line, and Kevin Johnson is there defending. 2.5 left in the half, 21-14, UNH leading. And this brings up a 3rd down and 7 situation. Bob Jean missed the Rhode Island game with a knee injury. Thought it was torn cartilage, turned out to be stretched ligaments, and he came back. Had a great game against UMass last week. Shotgun this time on 3rd and 7. Jean rolls out of the pocket. He will be wrapped up and thrown to the ground by Brad Carignan. The Danbury, Connecticut junior does the job. So a sack, and this will bring up a 4th down and 20. And the clock is stopped. A timeout is called by the Huskies, who want one more opportunity when they get the ball back to try to march it down and put another 6 points on the board.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following cheerleaders are seniors.
You can see what punting into the wind has done. because when Baldessaro finally gets his opportunity, he has just 2 punts for 21.5 yards so far. Tom Jackson on the sideline talking with Jansen. Mike Jansen, the outstanding junior captain, came in with 2 sacks, and he's tackled running backs 5 times for losses. Boy, the wind is just swirling on the sideline. Once in a while, it kicks up some dirt over there on the Connecticut bench, and you can really see that it's just gusting. 4th down and 20. Steve King has left the booth and will be on the field. There's David Dunn. What an outstanding year Dunn has had. He's just been able to do it all. He has 8 touchdowns. He's got over 729 yards. He holds all sorts of Connecticut records for receptions, for yards, receiving, for touchdowns, for receiving in 1 year. Now he'll catch the punt at the 27-yard line. Reverses his field. Gets a good block. Makes the cut. Stays on his feet. Good balance. Needs one more block. Doesn't get it. And he is bumped out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Good run by Dunn. And that brings up a 1st down and 10 now at the 38-yard line for the Huskies. 36-yard return. I beg your pardon, the 36-yard kick. Dunn now splits wide to the far side. DeGennaro looks over the defense and drops back. Antrum has the ball at the 47-yard line and down at the 45. Tim Byrne makes the stop at that point. Byrne, the brother of the former quarterback Rich Byrne for UNH. Rich had an outstanding career, and his brother Tim is really making a mark for himself as a junior up there. 1st and 10 from the 45, backpedaling. DeGennaro to throw again. Pass is caught by Scott Vibberts out of the backfield, and he is brought down at the 43-yard line by T.J. Heap. Vibberts, the 5'10", 195-pound sophomore, came in with 33 catches and 175 yards, 1 touchdown. Came to Connecticut as a quarterback. Here's the quick toss. Over Hankham's head, out of bounds. You heard one of the whistles. One of the whistles is being affected by the cold. A little ball inside must have gotten stuck, and we heard a toot instead of a whistle. 3rd down and 8 with 49 seconds left in the half. Connecticut sideline, everybody are wrapped up, except one fellow who thinks this is Florida. There's always one tough guy on the sideline that you can find who nothing affects him. I formation, slot to the left side. DeGennaro takes a couple of steps, wants to throw the ball. He's has plenty of field in front of him, stays behind the line of scrimmage and throws the ball where it's complete. And down to the 21-yard line, David Dunn makes the reception. The clock stops with 38 seconds left. Ryan Jones was there. DeGennaro, a fine job of keeping his poise and then firing the ball, and Dunn had it at the 21 where it's 1st and 10. The chains are moving. It's a 25-yard reception. Clock continues to roll now with 34 seconds left. Connecticut trailing by 7. DeGennaro, plenty of time, and loses the football, and I think his knee may have touched. His knee was down, so they'll rule it a sack. That's the 3rd time he has been sacked. All right, there is the knee is down, so they rule it a sack. Timeout is taken by the Huskies. And that brings up 2nd down and 18 and 21 seconds left. And there you see some fans who are managing to stay warm here and enjoy the first half despite the cold. Again, we think the temperature is below 0 with this wind chill factor here. It's probably going to take everyone that's on hand today a little while after the ball game to thaw out. Not to mention just the walk to the car. Trying to straighten out those legs after sitting in the cold. Steve King will be talking with Bill Bose at the end of the half. get his thoughts on the first half. His team is leading 21-14 with 21 seconds left in the first half of play. DeGennaro, 18 for 25, 179 yards. Great first half. And UConn has just 22 yards rushing on 15 attempts. So you see the airwaves have been filled. 21 seconds left in the half. DeGennaro rolls out. Has the time, still looking right down the sideline. He is hit by Farrell from behind and no flag. And Dunn is really upset. It looked like Dunn may have been hit right before the ball got there. Farrell was right on top of him, and let's take a look at the replay. Steve, if you're there, you can join in with us. Here is the pass, and our camera angle is not quite there, but you can see how upset Dunn is. He thought he was hit before the ball arrived. Just looking at it with the naked eye, it appeared that he was hit before the ball did arrive. 3rd down and 18. 13 seconds left. There are a couple of fans that are bundled up. 3rd down conversions, Connecticut has 4 of 9 and UNH 2 of 6. So we'll see what they do this time. And DeGennaro comes off the field. Timeout is being called again. Steve, you're on the field now. Tell me what it's like down there.
Extremely cold. Yeah. I've been fighting this cold here, trying to get hooked up to the microphone. And with this wind, like we said, with the wind chill factor, it's about minus 20 out there. You get an idea of just how cold it is looking at some of the fans bundled up. And I can't imagine these teams being successful passing the ball like they have today. But great ball players out there in that passing game. Gene, DeGennaro, the quarterbacks, and good receivers. Dunn, Antrum for UConn, Olds and Braun for New Hampshire. They're doing an incredible job today, being able to throw and catch the ball.
Boy, they really are. Absolutely. 13 seconds left in the first half here as you see DeGennaro getting some last-minute instructions from the sideline. He's had 6 200-plus games out of the 10 games this season. Looks like he's on his way to another 200-plus game today. He's number 2 in completions in one season with 168, and number 4 in the Connecticut record books in touchdowns. 3rd down and 18. 13 seconds left. DeGennaro throws, or looking. He will keep the ball, and he'll try to get to the sideline at the 19-yard line, and he stops the clock with 5 seconds left.
Here you go.
Time for one last play.
Good job, Matty.
Again, it looked like he wanted Terry Antrim, number 4, on a post pattern. Ryan Jones, number 3, for the Wildcats, covering from like a blanket.
And a field goal attempt coming up by Carter. A 32-yarder was no good by Carter in the first period. Now we'll see what happens here on a 26, make it a 36-yard kick. Ball will be down at the 26-yard line by Glen Antrum. On the tee, Carter's kick is on its way, and this one, if it has the distance, is good, and it has nowhere near the distance, as you can see. Boy, Steve, I would guess the wind is the big factor there.
Ken, I am right in line with you in the press box. That ball literally held by the wind, and it came straight down to 5. Ken, I'm here now with head coach Bill Bose. Bill, extremely cold today, but a wide open offense. It's surprising.
Well, I think that's what we have to do, and I think Connecticut realizes that's what they have to do. You know, we're 2 good football teams, and fortunately we have quarterbacks that can throw, and kids are catching, and interesting game.
Bob Dean's not shy at all about throwing that ball into the wind either.
No, he's got a strong arm. We're not afraid to let him do it.
Coach, good luck in the second half. Ken?
Thank you very much, Steve, and we'll be back with more. And we'll recap the first half in just a moment. The score at halftime, New Hampshire 21 and Connecticut 14. Welcome back to windy and cold Storrs, Connecticut. Wherever you are in New England, friends, it's that way out here. And the band, all bundled up, is out performing on the field. And you see the flags out there are really taking a beating from the wind. That's the way it's been. But the passing was the story of the first half, with UNH taking a 7-0 lead on the 21-yard touchdown bomb to Chris Braun, and then DeGennaro came back to tie it on a quarterback keeper, 7-7. Then Gene to Olds, 14-7. Ryan on the 8-yard run, 21-7. And DeGennaro to Sweizer, 21-14 is our halftime score. Plenty of action going on in hockey in our area, and of course you see a lot of it on Nesson. Let's turn to Sean McDonough and a recap of last night's action and the big game tonight, Maine and Northeastern.
Thank you very much, Ken. We had quite a game last night at Walter Brown Arena. The Lowell Chiefs and the Boston College Eagles, both struggling coming in. Lowell had won just once in 6 games, and Boston College had lost 2 straight, but it turned out to be a fine hockey game, Bob.
Look, for a minute or two, we're going to see overtime. It was a slow game starting. First period, Lowell jumped out to a 3-0 lead. BC caught up in the second period, and the third period was great hockey up and down.
As Bob points out, Lowell jumped off to a 3-0 first period lead. Boston College got 2 in the second to pull within 1. They tied it early in the third period on a goal by Tim Sweeney, but every time Boston College tied it up, Lowell retook the lead, as they did on this fourth goal.
Well, they were very opportunistic, and Jim Newhouse gets the goal here. Watch him fire the puck off the glass and back. Jeff Flaherty picks it up to the left of the net. Now watch where Newhouse scores this from. On the ice, deflects off him into the net, and he gets one of the easiest goals he's going to get.
Second goal of the game for Jim Newhouse, his 4th of the season, assisted by Jeff Flaherty at 5:08. The Boston College Eagles answered to tie the score at 14:02. David Emma, the freshman, gets the 5th goal of his freshman year.
Great forechecking by Emma. Knocks Newhouse off the puck. That goes out to Mike Conley on the point. Emma continues on from the corner to the front of the net and tips in the shot from the point. Great play by David Emma.
But just 2 minutes and 5 seconds later, Jeff Flaherty, who played an outstanding game for Lowell, won the game for the Chiefs.
Well, this was a great goal as they come down on a 3-on-2 break. Eric Richard down the left side. Watch him move it in front to Bill Doney. The puck goes in front right of the Craig Sharon. Sharon moves it over to Flaherty. Flaherty knocks it in the open net.
Second goal of the game for Jeff Flaherty, the 5th of his season. He's a sophomore for Lowell and playing exceptionally well. Tim Sweeney had 2 goals in the loss for Boston College. The Eagles now 3-4. The Lowell Chiefs now 2-5. Tonight it's more Hockey East action live here on Nesson beginning at 7 o'clock from Matthews Arena. Northeastern and Maine, 2 of the best teams in the league.
Well, looking forward to it. It's going to be a great game. They had a barn burner last night. We're looking forward to this one tonight.
We'll see you tonight at 7 with more Hockey East action live here on Nesson. Now let's go back to Storrs, Connecticut, and Ken Bell.
Thank you very much, Sean. And, of course, Hockey East action all season long right here on your place for New England College Sports, the New England Sports Network. And tonight it will be Maine and Northeastern. Looking forward to that one at 7 o'clock. Sean and Bob with all of the action. Right here in Storrs, Connecticut, it is 21-14, and UNH has taken a 7-point lead into the locker room. A lot of points, a lot of excitement, a lot of passing, and a lot of fun so far in this one. So we hope you'll stick around to watch the second half of this ball game. Of course, New Hampshire still with an outside hope of landing some kind of an at-large berth to the NCAA 1AA postseason playoffs. And, of course, Bill Bowes has to have a win today to make that come true, with Richmond already getting the automatic bid. Maine next in line, finishing number 2 in the conference. And today, UNH and Connecticut playing for 3rd place in the conference. Right now, 21-14 is the halftime score. We'll return with more from Connecticut in just a moment. Steve, I saw you doing a little jitterbug down there just to try to keep warm. I see you're joining in with the band, and they're doing a lot of moving out there just to keep the parts from freezing up.
That's right, Ken. If you don't move in this type of weather while you're out in this extreme cold and wind, you get stiff immediately.
It is wild. Well, let's take a look at the first half, Steve. And surprisingly, as you suggested all half long, it's surprising that they continue to throw the football. And that accounted for the first down, 11:39 of the first period. It was a 21-yard touchdown toss to Chris Braun.
Bob Jean having a fantastic year. Play action to the tailback, Urbanik. Good protection by the offensive line. Now he waits for one receiver to clear the safeties, get them out of the way. Braun trailing on the post pattern, takes it in stride, avoids the would-be tacklers for the first score of the game.
Then 1 minute into the second period, here's DeGennaro. He takes it in himself, and this is a controversial call, as it turns out.
The young freshman gets good blocks from his offensive line. There you can see Milberg, number 77. Now Antrum kicks the corner Jones out. The tackle by Jarostchuk. The left knee appeared to touch the 1 yard line, but the official rules he's over for the score.
Then with 7:45 left in the half, UNH comes back. It's Bob Jean to Olds.
Well, Olds here avoiding the Johnson, number 43. It looked like man coverage, and with speed that like Olds has, you can't cover him with 1 man in a situation like that. Great speed, Curtis Olds puts them ahead.
And it was 14-7. Now 5:52 left in the half. Ryan takes it.
Over pursuit here. Now the backside cut off. Nate Cotton trying to make the tackle. There's a huge hole. Nice blocking by the Wildcats. Mike Ryan over for the score.
And another angle of this one, and Ryan playing in place of Todd Urbanik and doing the job in the first half, Steve.
Look at how they seal the inside. There you can see they're over pursuing to the outside, a huge hole. Mike Ryan takes advantage of it.
That made it 21-7, and New Hampshire had the 14-point lead, but with 2:54 left, back come the Huskies, and here's DeGennaro to Scott Sweizer.
The young freshman on the straight drop back, he gets great protection from his offensive line. You can see there the first receiver he looked for was covered. Now he drops back. Sweizer, the tight end, working against Scott Curtis, number 92, the linebacker. The touchdown brings UConn back into the game. Here's the other angle from the end zone. Now see, he wanted a receiver to the outside. He has good blocking from his offensive line, lots of time. Sweizer now breaks downfield, working against the linebacker. Nice throw, good catch into the wind. Touchdown, Scott Sweizer, number 12.
DeGennaro, 18 of 26, 178 yards, 1 touchdown, and he was sacked twice for 13 yards. And on the other side, Bob Jean, 10 of 15, 148 yards. So it's really been first half, 2 touchdowns for Jean. It's been a great half through the air for both teams. Let's take a look at the halftime stats, Steve. Yards rushing, 47 for New Hampshire, 30 for UConn. And again, it's all been through the air. 178 for the Huskies in passing, 148 for New Hampshire.
Just the opposite of what we expected, Ken. With these conditions, we thought these teams might be a little more conservative with the passing game. It's just the opposite. They're playing wide open football, letting these 2 good quarterbacks and talented receivers show their talents here today.
Wildcats have not been penalized in the first half, and UConn 2 for 15, and even in time of possession, with both of them around 15 minutes of time. 21-14 is our halftime score, and New Hampshire has that 7-point lead. We'll return with more from Storrs, Connecticut. We'll talk with Tom Jackson about what we can expect from the Huskies, all when we return in just a moment.
Call me the breeze. I'm just rolling down the road. Well, now I don't have much, baby. You become an easy go. I'm just headed for the mountains. I'm just looking for a bus. Beer.
Winston Cup Goodies 500 from Martinsville. NASCAR racing on Nesson Sunday, November 29 at 8:30 p.m.
For over 10 years, he has answered the call. When people are in trouble, when everything is going wrong, when time is running out. But there's one call he answers every Saturday morning in an old Ford station wagon that may be his most important rescue of all. He's a big brother, and he's making a big difference in the life of a boy who doesn't have a father to look to. But the alarming fact is, we don't have nearly enough men like him to help the long list of children of color who have asked for a big brother. Right now, there are hundreds of boys all across Boston who've been waiting literally years for a man they can look to for guidance and friendship. Time is running out for these kids, but if you can make a commitment of 4 hours a week, you can make all the difference in the world. Just call 426-1237. That's 426-1237. You can mean the difference between a boy feeling lost and found. Brought to you as a public service by the Bank of Boston.
And welcome back to Storrs, Connecticut. And the band left a little early from the halftime performance, and they were off the field with some of the instruments sticking to their faces. So I don't blame them for getting off. 21-14 is our halftime score. UNH has the lead. And right now, my buddy Steve King is on the field, out in the cold, with a couple of diehard fans. Steve?
Very diehard fans, Ken. I can't understand why a person wouldn't be in their living room today under a nice, warm, comfortable television. What brings you out today?
Well, we're University of New Hampshire fans. We have a son that goes to school there, is on the football team, so that kind of dictates our attendance.
What's his name, sir?
His name is Anglim.
Anglim. Okay. Well, that's quite a trip from New Hampshire. You have to be loyal fans. You brought your family today, right?
Actually, we live in Rocky Hill, Connecticut, so it's not quite that bad.
Oh, okay. How about you?
I'm an alumni here, and I love sitting on aluminum bleachers.
Aluminum bleachers. You didn't bring the hot pad today.
No, I forgot it. I should have had it with me.
Yeah, it's extremely cold, like we've mentioned before. Minus 20 degrees down here on the field. The wind's howling. And how about you girls? How have you managed to stay warm?
Hard.
It is hard.
Go stay in the bathroom for a while, stay some warm in there.
Oh, it's heated in the restroom.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, Ken. In fact, I may go there right away.
One good excuse to go to the restroom, Steve. Anytime you want to go, please feel free, all right? Massachusetts 24-7 over Northeastern, that in the second period. And William and Mary leads Richmond 10-7 at halftime. That's a big game going there. BU 7-3 over Delaware in the second period. And right here, the score is 21-14. And, of course, the big game coming this afternoon, Oklahoma and Nebraska. That starts about 3:30 on CBS. Right now, 21-14, New Hampshire has the lead. Back with an interview with Tom Jackson and some final comments before the second half kickoff. Stay with us. King, welcome back to chilly and cold and breezy Storrs, Connecticut. Friends, it's a great day to sit at your television set and watch a game. These two teams have put on a great effort here in the first half, playing in terrible conditions, but it's 21-14. New Hampshire has the lead, a lot of points on the board. Reason to expect anything less in the second half. Here's the third period score, which Tom Jackson will be interested in. Penn State 14, Notre Dame 7. And those two teams again playing in the third period. Rutgers 17-3 over Temple in the second quarter. Lehigh 9-7 over Lafayette in the second. And now down to Steve King and Tom Jackson.
Bob G's having a heck of a day, and so is Matt DeGennaro. He's not bashful about throwing that football back.
Well, I tell you what, it's probably the beauty of youth because they're a hell of a lot tougher than I am because I'm cold.
Me too. I know what you mean. Now, anything you'll do differently here in the second half?
Well, I think we've got to try to defend their sweep a little bit better, and we've got to try to protect ourselves underneath a little bit more against Olds. He's running those gag patterns, and we just can't keep up with him. We've got to get some help from underneath on that, and hopefully we could try to get a little more pressure on the quarterback.
Good luck with that in the second half here, Tom. Ken?
Steve, thank you very much. And now, buddy, come on back into the warm confines of the press box. Well, almost warm confines. We've got the windows open here, and there isn't much heat. But I'll tell you, anything to block the wind is certainly helping out today. And our cameramen, boy, what a job they're doing today just to not freeze to death out there. Hang in there for the second half. Imagine being about 25 feet up in the air. That wind has got a straight shot at you. Technical crew all season long. It's just been a delight to work with here with the NESN crew, and we thank you for joining us all year long on the Yankee Conference Football Game of the Week here on NESN. 21-14 is our score. New Hampshire leading Connecticut. And some of the individual stats, Curtis Olds has 4 catches for 72 yards. And Chris Braun has 4 for 65, and that all making up the 148 yards, which New Hampshire threw for. Bob Jean, 10 of 15, has 2 touchdowns, was sacked once for 13 yards. Todd Urbanik must have been injured earlier in the first half or something went wrong. He had 1 catch for 8 yards, and he had run 6 times for 23, but then gave way to Mike Ryan, who stayed in the ball game in the second period. So we're unsure of what his condition is. And in rushing on the other side of the fence, Connecticut 21 yards from Gallaher on 6 attempts, and most of the damage has been through the air. Scott Sweizer 4 for 65, as long as, of course, the 35-yard touchdown. And Michael Adams had 17 yards through the air. David Dunn 6 catches for 55 yards. There are some fans who are trying to hoop it up here and stay warm. Good luck in the second half, ma'am. Hang tough, just like the team. 21-14 as we begin the second half, and Eric Facey is set to boot the ball away. And we're underway. Ball is bobbled. Scott Vibberts, 15, 20, and out to the 21-yard line. And we're ready with the second half of action. Steve King making his way back into the broadcast booth. And it'll be 1st and 10, UConn, from its own 23-yard line. Matt DeGennaro, number 13 in the nation in passing efficiency with a 130.9 rating. And really, the number 1 rookie in the land when you look at those kind of statistics. First down, handoff to Gallaher. He is greeted behind the line, back at the 20-yard line, and the Wildcats come out with a big defensive play by Paul Boulay, co-captain of the All-Conference selection last year. The former starter, number 98, Boulay. Pro scouts are looking at him. There's a good view of the field, just over the blanket. Place to be. Steve King just walked in, showed me the coffee, which had frozen in the cup. DeGennaro rolls out on 2nd down and 12, and he will be put down behind the line, and another sack. 4th sack of the afternoon. Paul Boulay, his 2nd big defensive play in a row.
DeGennaro rolling out, Ken. On the move here. Good blocking again by his offensive line and backs, but Boulay, 98, fights through, makes a great sack. That protection can only hold up for so long.
2 big Boulay plays in a row. Terry Antrum on the draw play, and he has the ball stripped loose, and it's picked up by the Wildcats. And on the ground is Scott Curtis with the football. Curtis, number 92, and you also see Bob Murray celebrating, number 90.
From the end zone, here is the counter play, the handoff to Antrum. Now watch number 50, Will Tyschen, make the tackle. Watch him. Now the ball squirts out. Scott Curtis, number 92, falls on it. UNH with a big turnover early as we open up here in the second half.
Ball bounced off the knee. Hand off to Mike Ryan, tries the left side. Ooh, he is hit helmet to helmet, and the penalty marker comes out at the 23-yard line.
That's good work out there by Kevin Johnson, number 43, Ken. Fights the blocker off. The inside pursuit was driving Mike Ryan to the outside, and that appeared to be holding against the Wildcats. I believe that was the man trying to block Kevin Johnson, number 43.
Steve, I really hate to talk about the weather so much because people at home saying, hey, come on, you know, the game's going on, but it's such a factor here. Now, you just came off the field. It's brutal down there, and I don't know how on earth the teams were able to throw so much in the first half.
And something I had forgotten about, Ken, is as I ran around the stadium to get back up here in the press box, and I was breathing heavily coming up the hill towards the rear of the press box, that cold air entering my lungs, I had forgotten that feeling. It's been a while, last winter, when I used to do some wintertime jogging, since I've really felt that cold air hit my lungs, and it actually hurts.
It hurts, and it wins you a little bit more. Not quite as effective. So all in all, a sensational first half by these two teams in adverse conditions. Mike Ryan slants across the left side, and he will be driven down by Brad Kerrigan and company. And then Connecticut defense doing the job here.
Good defense here. You can see the lineman pulling the toss to Ryan. Banbury, the fullback, leading. Look at those people fight up there. Brad Kerrigan, number 85, with an excellent play, fighting off his blocker. getting to the ball carrier Ryan to bring him down.
Connecticut held the Rams to 172 yards and 2 first downs last week, intercepted 5 passes in that 52-7 rout. Ryan in motion. Gene to throw. Pump fakes. Now he has his man, and Banbury is down at the 10-yard line. Matt Banbury, the fullback, and a good pump fake by Gene allows the extra time.
Well, what's the pressure here on the right side of your screen from number 85, Carrigan? But Gene, he started to throw, pulls it down. Now he finds Banbury just over the linebacker. Nice touch between the linebackers and the defensive backs.
21-yard pickup. Now at the 10-yard line. Looks like they can get a first down at the 1. Long count by Gene. And the handoff to Ryan. He is greeted behind the line at the 11-yard line. Connecticut defense swarming.
They read that well. That was designed to be a cutback by tailback Ryan. The UConn defense reading it very well.
Second down and 10. Looks like it's right on the 11-yard line, so no gain, no loss. 11:21 remaining third period. New Hampshire knocking on the door, already leading 21-14. Braun is in a slot to the right side. Olds is split right and a split left. One man in the backfield. There is a timing pattern, and the pass just thrown out of bounds, incomplete. Rob Spittel, number 82, was over in that direction, but Gene overthrew him by a good 5 yards.
That was like a 4 wide receiver offense, only what they did is they took Spittel, number 82, split him out wide left. They took Ryan, who's a very fast individual, put him in the slot. And I thought, Ken, they would probably throw the ball to the side that Olds and Braun were on, but I think they were just trying to catch him by surprise. Good coverage, having to overthrow the ball, intended for Spittel.
Third down conditions. New Hampshire 4 for 9. Gene back into the pocket. He overthrows Ryan at the 10-yard line, and that'll bring up a 4th down situation, and Eric Facey will get the call as he comes on.
Now what happens here is they try to get the defensive line upfield, and the linebacker's dropping. See, Ryan, number 37, is slipping out between the tackle and guard. Now the lineman break because it's a timing type pattern. Gene's supposed to just loft the ball over the lineman to him, but overthrowing Ryan as he was getting heavy pressure from the UConn defensive front.
Eric Facey on to try the field goal. 7 for 17 this season, 31 of 48 in his career. It'll be a 28-yarder. Ball is on the tee, and it is no good off to the right, as you see from our end zone camera. So Connecticut holds, and 21-14, down by 7. They'll face the wind here in the third quarter.
A big break for the Huskies with the Wildcats missing that field goal. Now they're only 7 down. They make that field goal, and they keep 10 down. And, of course, they're going into the wind here in the third quarter. So they can't afford to give up too much here in the third quarter.
Tom Jackson making his point on the sideline. First and 10 from the 20-yard line. Draw play. Gallaher uses Antrum, slips a tackle over the 30-yard line and out to the 31.
He comes real close here, Ken, to breaking it down the sideline. It looked as though someone may have caught his face mask. Let's watch closely here. Antrum, the fullback, leading. There you can see the cut. Byrne kicked to the outside. That tackle up around his collar, twisted him around, held him up just long enough for the pursuit to catch him. And a nice gain by Jeff Gallaher, number 1.
And a first down at the 31-yard line. Two-step drop, pass to the right side. Michael Adams has it, and he will be driven down at the 38-yard line by Basil Jarostchuk and Ryan Jones. Jarostchuk, who has a brother playing in the NFL with the St. Louis Cardinals, of course, a star last year on this team.
The quick pass utilized by both teams today. The zone, Jones off of Adams. DeGennaro may have called an audible. Nicely executed play. Good gain of about 7 yards.
Second down. Gallaher. And he can't turn the corner this time as Bill Farrell is there to meet him at the 41-yard line. He'll be about a yard shy of the first down. Well, Connecticut moving the ball down there, you see. I say earmuffs were made for days like this. This hurt.
Well, I'll take a head today. I want my whole head covered. It's so cold out there. You know, I took my gloves off momentarily, and your hands freeze up immediately.
It's really surprising to see how many players are not playing with gloves out there. Steve, you had pointed that out before the ball game. Draw play. Antrum has the first down out over the 45-yard line to the 47. Scott Curtis makes the stop, but he has the first.
Good blocking by offensive tackle number 77 Milberg and number 79 Franks, the guard. It's a little counter there. You can see Antrum took a jab step to the right, comes back, gets the handoff, reads his blockers, Milberg and Franks. Nice gain, first down for the Huskies.
6 carries, 29 yards, puts him over 1,000 for the season. Over 1,000 yards, and he has made it. And the hand straight up the middle, comes out to the 49-yard line. Gallaher, the workhorse. Again, George Huth, who was bothered by an ankle problem, has not played today. Gallaher, a speedster. He's had ankle problems all season. Matter of fact, so many of these guys have been banged up. Pat Anglim, who's playing tackle today, was the outstanding guard. He had a stress fracture of the ankle and hasn't practiced much this year, but has played every game. An All-American candidate, number 63 at tackle. Second and 7. Plenty of time. DeGennaro finds his man. Michael Adams again at the 45-yard line. Tim Byrne takes him out at that point.
This is nice coordination between the quarterback DeGennaro and the receiver Adams. Adams was covered, but he comes back towards DeGennaro, towards the ball. DeGennaro read it as he broke back towards him. Byrne there, number 22, making the tackle. He had good coverage initially, but Adams, realizing he was covered, started coming back towards DeGennaro. Matt reading it well, nice pass. Well coordinated play between quarterback and receiver.
4 catches, 29 yards for Michael Adams in the ball game. He comes out Antrum good. 3rd down and 1. There's the first down and more. Gallaher breaks it to the 15, the 5, a race to the end zone. He scores. A 5-yard touchdown run by Gallaher, and Connecticut can tie the ball game with an extra point.
We saw this 2 weeks ago against the University of Delaware, Ken. Good inside blocking and good quick running by the tailback Gallaher. Watch him burst through this hole as the offensive line fires out. He began to his right, cuts back to his left, saw the hole, exploded through it. You can see Byrne there unable to catch Gallaher. He has too much room, great speed. He doesn't have the blue shoes on today, but those are pretty fast that he's got on. The touchdown, and we're very close to a tie ball game if this extra point attempt is good.
Jeff Gallaher on the sideline. Here's Rob Moons to attempt the extra point, and it is short. The kick was low, and I think Moons slipped before he got to the tee. Gary Jordan also blocked the ball.
Good point, Ken. Hard field. He may have missed it because of the hard field. There's the replay. You can see the hole and how quickly, number 1, Gallaher gets through that hole, explodes through that hole, and turns on the jets. Jones, number 3, making a desperate attempt to bring him down before he crosses the goal line, and that's what it is, desperate. Gallaher over that goal line for the touchdown.
Well, we'll see what the Connecticut defense can do here. It's interesting that UConn has allowed 108 points in the first 3 quarters this season, coming into today's game at 106 points in the 4th quarter. So they're stingy through the first 3 and then kind of slide some when they get to the 4th quarter, so we'll see what the defense can do here. But that's got to be a good sign, an encouraging sign for Tom Jackson, whose team comes out, fumbles right away, and then makes a good defensive stand and marches the ball down and scores.
And we're seeing lots of action today, Ken. We were concerned that with these extremely cold conditions of frozen field, the strong wind, we wouldn't get a chance to see these 2 excellent quarterbacks, Bob Jean and Matt DeGennaro, strut their stuff today. But they've really just ignored the elements, done a terrific job. They're putting on quite a show for us here this afternoon.
They really are. Look at the up men. They're standing at the deep people are at the 20-yard line. The up men are at the 35.
That gives you an idea of what kind of wind we have here today.
And Mark Carter will boot the ball. It's I don't know if it's meant to be an onside kick. I guess
it was. Exactly. That's what it was meant to be. I feel they thought that New Hampshire's front line would go falling back quickly. Instead, they're alert. I believe that was Tyschen that fell on the ball. They're going to have great field position at UConn's 46-yard line.
The scoring drive, 7 plays, 80 yards, 2:40 off the clock, and the 45-yard run by Gallaher. He now has 11 carries for 80 yards in the ball game. Bob Jean, his team now leading by a point. Jean over the middle, Rob Spittel. He is hit at the 27-yard line by Dwayne Miller, but Spittel hangs on to the football.
From the right side, Spittel goes beyond the linebackers here in the seam between the linebackers and the secondary. Miller coming in making the tackle. Too late to break up the play. Rob Spittel, out of last week's game, we covered against UMass. He's back this week.
A big kid, 6'3", 225-pound sophomore. 1st and 10. Urbanik is back in the ball game. He goes in motion. Bob Jean, one tackler, loses the football. A penalty marker comes out. And New Hampshire, Connecticut, I should say, has got the football. But again, a marker is down at the 31.
Well, we'll wait to see what the signal is here, Ken. I believe it is against the Wildcats. Yes, it's a holding call against the Wildcats. It'll be refused. It's UConn ball. But number 85, Brad Carrick, does a stupendous job, just an unbelievable job of fighting off the blocker and getting to Jean. Jean trying to twist away from him, loses the football.
Boy, is that a big play with the Wildcats driving and the second fumble lost.
Maybe we'll get a chance to see that a little later on. That was just a great effort by number 85, Carrigan, to get to Jean.
DeGennaro on 1st down. The hand off straight up the middle. Gallaher, some tough yards as he moves out to the 47-yard line. Bill Farrell makes the stop there. DeGennaro, 188 completions this season. That is a new Connecticut record for a single season. And on the day, 20 of 28, 190 yards and bounds at the 45-yard line.
Working against the linebackers, Reed forced him out of bounds, but not before he picks up another UConn 1st down.
You see that dirt flying around down there, swirling on the sideline. DeGennaro hands off to Gallaher. Basil, Jarostchuk, and Paul Boulay. This is Scott Dubots, I should say, who carried the football. Boulay and Jarostchuk team up on the right-hand side. Dubots is a good guy to come off the bench.
A hard
have
worker.
Some talent, yeah.
A real hard worker.
A sophomore.
Not the same type of ball players that Jeff Gallaher. Doesn't possess those types of talents, but makes up for it. Great desire.
You know, the only senior in the backfield, Steve, is Terry Antrum. Everybody else will be back. DeGennaro drops. Pass is caught by Scott Sweizer at the 40-yard line. T.J. Reap makes the stop on the play. I beg your pardon, it's David Dunn who makes the reception, number 15.
Well, I thought he was looking for Sweizer, number 12, who was behind the secondary. But he sees Dunn underneath, delivers the ball. T.J. Reap, number 66, coming up, making the tackle. But in the meantime, DeGennaro never spotted number 12, Sweizer, who was open downfield.
5:34 remaining in the 3rd period, 21-20. UNH with the lead. Huskies on the move. And DeGennaro, and the keeper, will be brought to the ground by Paul Boulay and Sherm Beatty. That's the 5th sack of the ball game.
Now that's a coverage sack, Ken. Good coverage by the secondary. He had Adams underneath. He had Dunn deep. Both well covered. He was forced up into the pocket. It collapsed on the sack. Give the secondary credit there.
4th down and 7. So Jim Carrier will punt the ball away. He has 3 punts for 29 yards on the average this afternoon. And this one carries to Tom Joy at the 15-yard line. Joy spins off a couple of men, but will be gang tackled at the 16.
Joy is tackled.
And one of the few times that the Huskies turned the ball over, putting the Wildcats deep in their own territory. So far,
he is the leading punt returner in the league, 3rd in the country, but not getting much of a chance today with his terrible wind. Urbanik goes in motion, and the quick flip to the left side, and Braun takes it to the 23. Abbott Burrell and Scott Daniels are there, just trying to get the ball into the skilled men on the corners and trying to get some yardage.
Urbanik back at tailback. He had went in motion. The play fake to Banbury. Now Urbanik goes downfield to block on the corner. Farrell, the quick pass to Braun. Scott Daniels, number 10, the safety, comes over and trips him up. But that's a well-executed play. Nice gain of about 7 or 8 yards.
So they call it 2nd down and 3. Again, motion out of Urbanik. And the handoff, Banbury, straight up the middle, looking for the first down. You know, it's interesting. One of the officials whistle. Apparently the P in the middle is being affected by the weather. Do you hear that? It's just a loud blast of a loud shrill instead of a whistle. I used to referee some, and once in a while you'd have that happen. It would stick, and it would make you look very, very strange out there.
Well, strange as it may sound, and a little saliva gets inside that whistle, and with the wind being what it is today, that wind chill
probably stuck.
Minus 21, a little freezing goes on with that whistle.
Stretch the chains out and see if this is a first down. And looks like it has it by half the nose of the football. Well, Richmond wrapped up the Yankee Conference title a good month ago, which is very strange for the title to be won that early. But since that time, Maine has positioned itself as number 2, and New Hampshire and Connecticut today playing for 3rd. And UNH looking for an at-large berth should the committee take 3 from the Yankee Conference. Back into the pocket. Gene looking for Olds, and he is belted from behind. Pass was thrown behind him. Mike Jansen was defending on the play.
Again, that's a similar pattern to the one Curtis Olds scored from earlier in the first half. This time, Mike Jansen, number 57, reads it immediately. It dropped in the zone. He recognized that the quarterback was looking for Curtis Olds. He broke on the play as Olds was angling in from the wide right side, and he was there to break it up.
New Hampshire coming into the game had passed for 2,132 yards. The opponent's half that much. Hand off straight up the middle, out to the 30-yard line. Todd Urbanik. Well, that's quite a statistic, though, I think, Steve. When New Hampshire came in with twice as much yardage through the air, that shows you not only have a good game, but your defense is doing the job on the opposition.
The New Hampshire defense, as I said earlier, again, leading the Yankee Conference, extremely hard to run against up the middle. UConn's done that fairly well, of course, passing the ball well, too.
3rd down, it's Gene over the middle, gives the ball for Olds. It's in the ground, incomplete. Olds slid down for it, but couldn't get there. And Linwood Green defending on the play. And Steve, I feel shifting the momentum here.
He was open here. The ball underthrown by Bob Gene. Now he has the wind at his back. Didn't get enough on it. You can see Olds trying to go down for it. It was high enough, but as he was sliding down, I think it threw his timing off. The ball behind him a little bit as well.
He punts a 26-yard coverage for Tate Baldestro. His longest of 49 this season. Let's see what he does with the wind here. David Dunn at the 32. Reverses back and will be caught back behind the line, back at the 26-yard line.
Good coverage by that Wildcat punt team.
So we'll see what the Huskies do here off of the 36-yard punt. And 1st and 10 at their own 27 is where they spot it.